All right. Should be live, and once again, Steph, we are just going to kind of dawdle a little bit, but I will tell you, we're obviously going to be way up in the box, so if you want to just, like, open it straight away, you could if you want to be there. I'm also going to be throwing on an incense for this whole thing, so we have my screen as a little one, but your screen is front and center.
Ooh, I like that.
So, yeah, there'll be kind of just other stuff for people to see as well going on. It's a Turtwig, not shiny. But,
amazing.
Yeah. So we'll kind of wait.
Oh, I need that Turtwig. Did you see my my research? I needed one more Turtwig.
No, I did not.
My God.
I'm sorry, I can't teleport it.
No.
Catch 3 Turtwig.
Oh.
You got a sponsored one.
I know. I want that 1,000.
The thing that I like about them is they look pretty. Like they're purple.
I know.
It's so,
I'm actually going to cache this real quick before we get started.
Do what you got to do because we'll wait for some peoples to come on in here. I'll wait for the first one.
Come on.
I've got the chat open and
everything.
There we go.
Yay! Oh, this is so fun. I'm so ready.
I hope I did
You're gonna
right.
help turn my whole Pokemon Go account to a much more optimized thing. Although I'm also gonna be really scared when we start powering things up because I have a problem spending Stardust.
Oh no. Okay, so that's probably like one of the first things I would say is just Stardust is so valuable, and you probably already know this if you've spent it a lot. So we've got Uber Blitz in here. That's the first one chatting. So what's going on?
Hey,
Uber
friends!
Blitz.
Oh, I just got the Twitch notification, so notifications are just going out right now.
Yeah, it was a little bit delayed. It was like a minute delay for some reason, but I put it on the Discord and all of that, and so
heck yeah.
Steph of Anime is with me. Good friend, beautiful person. Pokemon extraordinaire, you know, the list goes on, but basically someone who has been, I would say, in my corner and with me for the longest time. I forgot how many years it is now, but it's a lot. And so, since like 2011. And so, yes, Uber Blitz says, hey, Steph. Oh my God! Steph of Anime just subscribed, and she's like, oh, look, what's this? Thank you to Steph of Anime. That's 27 months. Dirty Haynes is also inbound, along with Uber Blitz and Pikatangan saying Kappa Link's Awakening ad. Koopa, that's awesome. You got a Link's Awakening ad. I don't know if I get the revenue for ads yet, but if I do, that's amazing. You got that. So yes, thank you so much.
Friends.
Thank you so much, Steph. And I will do stars info, and I'll just go ahead and add your 27 months right now. We'll add 27 months to your total.
Can you give me infinity stars though?
Let's talk after stream.
Yes.
Wait, what's the total? Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's a 5. Oh my God. Oh, I can't even edit this one because I'm not on my rip. Okay, well, it'll be up. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing today, I noted in the Discord. It did Steph just hacked Kendo's mind.
Yes.
Every time we're around each other, there's some hacking going on. Usually we don't even notice it. But yes, I've been hacked. So, ladies and gents, I talked about this on Discord, but essentially what we're doing today is I'm going over what the perk is if you subscribe. Steph did just subscribe, but she's been subscribed since the very beginning. So I thought, you know, she actually gave me this idea, so I want to thank you for this. But kind of an extra sub perk, you know, that's on top of sound effects, that's on top of all the other stuff that you're going to get with subscribers, the stars, is that I'm offering to go through, it's just optional, of course, your Pokemon Go account. So what we're going to do today is Steph has hers up on screen, that's in the middle, and I just put an instance on mine so you guys can see that as well. But basically going through your account to just optimize it, oftentimes like what's going on today, Steph, is we do have the raid hour coming up, and so like Giratina, the altered form, is the raid boss still. And so, you know, I might like go through some of that too. You know, who are the current legendaries that, you know, the meta is good for. So those sorts of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm super excited. Guys, if you didn't know, Dr. K actually has a channel where he puts Pokemon Go update videos and really cool news videos, and those help people like me who I love Pokemon Go, but I'm really bad at actually researching, you know, what's the current meta, and, you know, how should I get this Giratina down the quickest, and different things like that. So, first of all, know that Dr. K does really cool things like that, and second of all, I'm excited to learn all of the things. So we get to all hang out. You guys can chill with us, tell us things if you're doing anything in Pokemon Go, or if you're just hanging out doing your own thing, we can chat, hang out, and I'm gonna get get good.
Yes, absolutely. And you have a good hype girl. Yeah, thank you, Pikachu.
I am the hypest.
I tried. I think I used to be more of a hype man for you. It's just, I had a kid and then life got really stressful. So I'm trying. I'm going to try.
You have to believe, okay?
All right,
you
I'll
gotta
believe
be
it. I'll try to be better.
Just do it.
Okay, so Steph, the first thing that I'm going to ask of you, and this will look different for other people who subscribe and maybe do this in private messages, but because we have the advent, that was the sickest burp. Oh, because I have the we have the advent of technology here. Steph is doing this live, so I'm going to ask you, just go ahead and open up the box of Pokemon, and we're going to see what you're dealing with. I know you said you got a lot of work to do. You said you've got a lot and you want to clear out a lot. So kind of the first thing, Uber Blitz giving that burp a 0. Come on, man. It felt like a 0, actually. So what I'm going to say, actually, is there's going to be 2 ways to go about this. And so we'll do the first one, which is going to be optimization. So I'm going to say arrange the list by CP. We're going to see who's at your top, and I've always said, CP isn't everything. We're often looking at the IVs, and what I like about Steph's, the Pokemon that she has listed here, she's put the IV percentages. Not everybody has numbers, but this is going to let me see, okay, this is exactly who we're dealing with.
I only have them for some of them. I was only good later on in life, so half of them are I don't know, there might be hidden gems until, guys, Dr. K finally told me how to do 100%, like how to find them. I was like, holy crap, I had 100% Sand Slash, I didn't even know.
Boxes of Cody, says Dirty Haynes. Pikachu, it's like, I need to clean up on my box.
This is the perfect time to do it. Do it with us. Everyone, get out your Pokemon Go, clean out, take this advice. This is genius.
There is actually going to be, I would say, is that Metagross says Duvel. So yeah, is that Metagross Meteor Mash is what he's asking, and I presume he's asking about that 96 that you have up at the top. And so that's actually a good place to start. If it's shiny, I presume it's going to have Meteor Mash, because it was likely that you
boys.
Yeah, the thing is, it was likely that you got it on Community Day to, to be shiny. You could have gotten a full odds one, but, I'm just saying it's more likely. So I figured it would have Meteor Mash, so it does, which is great. That's the charge move you would want on your Metagross. The one thing that I'll say here is, this is how I like to go, and some people could argue against this, but I think most of the logics go for what I'm about to say. So what I'm about to say is use TMs if the moves aren't the same type. So, Steph, you know about Stab, right? You've heard of Stab, same type attack bonus. What I like to, this is kind of related, I guess you could say, is that Zen Headbutt is Psychic, right? And you have Meteor Mash. So you have other Metagross as well that we can look at, but this one, it's a 96. It's very highly powered up. This is a great Pokemon overall. This is an amazing Pokemon. It's shiny for one, which I love, but it's a 96. Metagross is actually quite a good defender, believe it or not, just because Fire, is really good against Steel and Metagross typically, but a lot of people didn't focus on Fire because Fire doesn't really have the meta-relevance, I would say, that Fighting has. Everybody wants that Fighting type because there's Blissey, Snorlax, Chanseys in these gyms and everything, Tyranitar sometimes, all these things that are weak to Fighting. It's so good against all those defenders. So we're playing the Fighting game, right? So Zen Headbutt would be good against that, but I would rather your Metagross right here that we're examining have the same type for each of its attacks. So before you do anything, we could also X out of this and look at the other Metagrosses, Metagry, that are around this one. So if you want to go on that path, we could look at that 93, for example, and see what attacks it has. Right,
I'm also willing to power some, I have an 89 that's I was so mad. It's freaking 845 CP, but it's an 89%, so it's the shiny, so I don't know, we can look at all these boys.
So, Duvel, by the way, is asking, what are we doing at the moment? And so this is actually, we're going over, I think I put it in my title, but this is basically going over what you can get. This is a perk that you can have as a subscriber. If you subscribe to this Twitch channel, I'll go through your box and optimize it all with you. So, Steph, you see that one has Bullet Punch right there.
Yeah, that's better.
If you scroll down, it has Meteor Mash as well. So here's the thing is, I would normally be like, okay, let's go back to that shiny one and get rid of the Meteor Mash. But Meteor Mash is such a good move that I'd say actually do not get rid of it.
Right.
So in this case, we're not going to like go on this plane of thought that I just spoke of, but that's going to be kind of a piece of advice that I'm going to go through a lot. So here's a good example. Oh, that one has Meteor Mash too? Man,
yeah.
So all of yours have Meteor Mash.
I was on that.
Yeah, like normally I would say do not get rid of Meteor Mash. And so in this case, we're probably not. We're actually probably going to leave your Metagross as they are. Steph, I'm going to say put those as some defenders. Most of those, you've got a lot of those even above 3,000, so they'd be good attackers or defenders. Roberto AF on YouTube. What's going on, man? This is being restreamed, by the way, to all platforms, but we're talking about your perk, basically, if you become a Twitch subscriber over here. But yes, feel free to add Roberto.
Dr. K is teaching me all of the ways of Pokemon Go. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I love this game, but I really don't pay attention to how to optimize, and that's what Dr. K is here for, is to be like, all right, Steph, we're going to take a look and figure this all out. So,
and of course, I mentioned it early on, but while we're doing that, I have an incense on, so I'm just kind of catching stuff too. So you guys have something else to see. What were you going to say?
So do you think for this boy, my pride and joy, my 96, should we get rid of Zen Headbutt? We should keep it for now.
I actually think we're going to keep that. And what I'm going to say is, I mentioned Zen Headbutt actually would be good against those fighting types. Because Machamp against a Metagross, if it has Zen Headbutt, it's set up really well. But, like, it's not that Machamp is, like, resistant or, strong against Metagross. They're neutral, right? But if it has Zen Headbutt, like, that's going to be really good. And so in this case, as a defender, that would be good. You have so many other ones that have Bullet Punch also that I think you would actually use that. And so Duval is saying you wouldn't use a Machamp against Metagross. Here's the thing, is that you have to get into other people's heads. And so a lot of people, I play the psychology game with Pokemon Go, and the psychology game is a lot of the times they don't want to switch. So Duval, you're absolutely right, is you would not normally like pair up Machamp to go against Metagross. You could put something fire and take it out really easy. But as I mentioned, a lot of people just go into a gym, they fight, and so the psychology of it is if they have to switch out, that's just going to discourage them more, right? So Steph, if you didn't know this, or anybody that doesn't know this, your defenders, like if you see a gym that is prime for you to put something in, try to think about what's already there, right? So like, hopefully there's a Blissey there, like Blissey's kind of that overall best defender in the game, and we're speaking more just from overall, right? I'm not saying best against this type or that type. Duvel says gym defense doesn't matter, though. I would say it does, dude. I would say gym defense really matters when it comes to the psychology of it and everything like that,
Right.
Especially if you're free to play, if you don't pay money to this game, you want those gym coins. He's saying Golden Raz are the best defense there is. Not everybody has a whole bunch of Golden Razes, although I have like 100 to give away.
Oh, let's go!
So, yeah, like all Golden Raz and stuff. Or you
Yeah.
may not even see it, like Steph has classes, she may be in class and can't Golden Raz, everything like that. So sure,
I saved them. Only Golden Raz for my legends. Where are my items? Oh yeah, this is another problem.
Yep.
My item. Oh god, I'm at 1033 out of 1,000.
So this is good too, and we can advise on that. I actually kind of like that you don't have like the basic potions and things like that, because I've been thinking in my own game, I finally have started running out of bag space a little bit, and one thing that I don't really use too much are the potion and super potions. They're not useless by any means. You can definitely have a use for them, but like, I'm going to get rid of a lot of them, so like I would prioritize those hypers and max as far as potions go. It looks like from your box, you probably don't need that many charge TMs and fast TMs, although we won't get rid of them until after we're done with this session.
Yeah.
Because you may actually use some of those. Your rare candies, this is only if you feel like you need more items, start using your rare candies, right? And so that's a way to help you get
Look how
more
many
item space.
I save all the Ultra Balls. I'll show you.
That's good. I mean, you probably won't even need that many unless you're like never going to get Ultra Balls again for a month or something, Because a lot of times you're like, okay, when do I use my Ultra Balls? Well, when I'm like doing a research box, or I'm on community day and I find a shiny or something, or I just can't catch something. So that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, it looks like your Pineapps, you can definitely, even right now, I'd just suggest get rid of some of those Pineapps, like maybe 24
Not
of them.
the Pineapps. I love the Pineapps.
You're doing Nanab right now.
Yeah.
I meant, Pineapp is the one that...
But I love Pineapps.
Steph, you just got rid of all of your Nanabs.
Are those even good? They're trash.
Nanab is okay. It kind of has its own... It's not really that great to use, but it kind of has its own use. See, do you really love Pineapps that much? Because that's...
Yeah!
Okay, you don't have to delete them. You don't have to take any advice that I'm giving you. I'm just saying...
No, I
would say is, like, probably about 14 or 24 of those, and that's at a base. Like, I'm being conservative.
I'll take rid of 4 of them.
Let's see how many I have. See, I have too many. I have 143, so I'm going to...
Holy crap, that's a lot.
I'm going to kill a whole bunch of them. Just make it
Oh my god.
So anyway, we won't go over items right now, though. We can go back to the box, though.
Yeah.
Atlas Rediffusion is here on YouTube. What's going on, man?
There's a Lotad.
See if it's shiny.
This might be shiny. Yeah, it's not. Okay, I can live with
Duval,
that.
I think it's clear what's happening. So anyway, let's see. So we're kind of set on the Metagross game right here because so many of them. Thank you, Tesla Flow, by the way, for following
Welcome
over on
in,
Twitch.
friend. How's your day
really
going
appreciate
today?
that. We're going over what you can get as a perk for being a subscriber on this channel, but you're also going to learn a lot from this. I'm going over my first ever and longest subscriber, Steph of Anime's box right here in Pokemon Go. And so I like that you named your slacking gym boy, by the way. Steph, you know the deal with slacking, right? Like...
yeah, let me tell you why you're gonna be really impressed with me. Cause look at this boy's stats. Oh god, oops.
Ooh. I have to like bend at a weird angle. Oh
He
god.
sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks, but his defense is at least okay. Like so that's why he's the gym boy. So yeah.
Yeah, let's see what Uber Blitzy's saying. At what point should I use my rare candies? I only have 2 or 3. I was planning on saving them for Pokemon I really want to evolve. So, before we keep going, Steph, I'll just say to Uber Blitz, in general, rare candies, like, I always kind of think of it as, what is your current, like, objective? You know, like, for instance, me, I really want to power up my Tyranitars and my Blissey. So, like, I have a 100% Blissey that I want to max out. I have enough candies to actually do it now, but I'm just saying, like, that was an objective, right? That was in my head. So what is your current objective? Like, is there something that you really did want to evolve and you just can't wait? Like, I would say wait for that to be something meta-relevant, first off, you know? Like, if you're just evolving something just to get the dex entry, maybe don't do that. Like, you can walk it as your buddy, you know, you can catch some in the wild or something, even if it's rare. But, like, rare candies, I would say, are, like, really greatly used on these things that are super good and important, right? So, like, you know, if Steph had, like, no more Metagross candies, but she needed to power those, like, up to be either attackers or defenders, that might be a good use of it. You know, Metagross can be pretty strong either direction. Again, I would say save it for things that are really great. So we're actually, Steph, going to talk about Tyranitar, so that's another one that we're going to look at in a second. But, like, that would be a great use if you don't have, like, any Tyranitar candies. It is so meta-relevant to have a Bite Crunch Tyranitar. You know, so like...
Oh, so close.
So there you go. You've got... But you also have... This is a great example for this question and to help Steph out. So, Steph, right now, you have no candies for Tyranitar, right? So that would be a great use of your rare candies because you could start boosting this up. This one's pretty good, though. You have 3,200. I mean, you could max it out or something. That'd be fine. But, like, it's... This is a passable Tyranitar, you know? Like, nothing to sneeze at, right? That's pretty good.
Okay.
Gooblon says, hey, are you legit? I'm... curious.
Yeah, he's the most legit Pokemon Go person.
I'm just curious what he means, but hey, what's
Are
going
you real?
on?
Is this real life?
Yeah, this is definitely real life. So that Tyranitar, what just happened? Oh, you went black, Steph. I need your screen back.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Whoa!
It locked. Hold on.
There we go.
Let me
There we go.
I'm gonna turn off power save.
So I was going to say that your Tyranitar here, though, this is a classic example of what I was going to talk about with the types. So notice that it has Bite, but then it has Stone Edge, right? Wasn't that its charge move?
Correct.
Down below? There you go. Okay, and so I would say go one or the other. And again, Bite Crunch right now is like, it has been so relevant for just the general meta of raids. So like Mewtwo was a good example, right? Mewtwo, Bite Crunch Tyranitars were crazy. Like, you would love it. You could still use when it gets the Giratina and everything like that. Now, this is kind of interesting to talk about as well, and we'll get more into Mewtwo and Giratina. But Mewtwo, one of the better things actually was having Giratina Origin Form, of course, and so like Ghost types are actually usually like can have the better moves and kind of the better DPS in most cases, but not everybody has, you know, like a Giratina Origin, or not everybody has a Gengar that's fully maxed out. Gengar we'll also talk about is a somewhat of a glass cannon, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Steph, as far as this Tyranitar goes, again, don't take my advice if you're super attached to something, if you really want something to stay. But what I would say about this Tyranitar is it is ripe for the pickings of having Bite Crunch, meaning you use a charge TM on that Stone Edge.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, so
I want to get rid of these.
Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it.
Let's do it. Let's take the advice.
Hit that yes, and we'll see what happens. Should be crunch. There you go.
Time.
So that's perfect.
Nice. What else could it have got? That's actually a question I wanted to ask you was how many options does a Pokemon have? Because I've never really used the TMs, so I don't really know what's up.
Each Pokemon varies, right? So like not every Pokemon only has one or two things. So Tyranitar, the interesting thing is it's just Stone Edge or Crunch. So that actually we were making it suspenseful, but it was not suspenseful at all. We knew it was gonna have. Oh yeah, Fire Blast. That was the one. Duval. Okay, Duval's right. It has Fire Blast as another move. Fire Blast is just so underwhelming in every aspect for Tyranitar that I didn't even think about it. So that's one problem that I have in Pokemon Go is like I'll be thinking about something and just completely omit it from my mind if it's shit. So like for instance, 80% or something below, like I will like kill it to death. So your Tyranitar says 88. I presume that was from when you scanned it back in the days on Pokegenie, right?
Yeah.
And so if I've
Should
never
I check it again?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I've never explained this to you, 88 is actually not a number that is true to Pokemon Go. It was something that Pokegenie gets, but it's either 87 or 89 then.
Oh.
And so if it's missing 5, then it'll be an 89. I can't see because the screen is so bright, actually.
I think it
looks like it's
2
missing
and
5.
3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. So that would mean that it's actually an 89, which is great. It's not an 87.
Let's go.
So maybe rename that to your 89 right there. So that's the good news. And the reason is that Pokegenie kind of misled us all kind of in that regard. But here's the numbers you need to worry about. I can go really quick. 84, 87, 89, 91, 93, 96, 98, 100. So those are like the best numbers. That's what we're looking for, right? And so each one of those corresponds under the new, like, I love the new appraisal system, by the way, because of this.
Yeah, it's so good.
And so, Steph, I guess, do you know the methodology, right? Like, so for instance, I'm showing a Farfetch'd on screen. It's a lucky Farfetch'd, by the way. It's a 91 because it's missing 4 little bars.
I don't know how to tell. Yeah, I don't know how to...
You count how many are missing and go based off of what I just said. So count down from 100%, So 100% would be like everything, right? All of them would be full. 98 means 1's missing. 96 means 2 are missing. 93 means 3 are missing. 91 means 4 are missing. So that's how you count down, basically, on the appraisal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I do have a video on this on the small YouTube channel, youtube.com/DrKendo. And I kind of went over the new appraisal system when it first launched. So let's see. Tyranitar is only useful with Dark. I'm reading the chat, by the way. Only useful with Dark attack to take down all those Psychic Phantom bosses, but Weavile surpasses him now. The bad thing is he takes more damage than Tyranitar. So it's interesting because Tyranitar is like a well-rounded Pokemon. But again, I've already mentioned it to you, and Gooblon is kind of saying this right now, is that Bite Crunch really is like the better move. So I want, if you could have like a team of 6 Tyranitars that are like hugely powered up that all have Bite Crunch, you'd be like set to take on Mewtwo, Giratina right now and stuff. Not that that's the most top supreme counter, but it's so good, But even if you have, like, let's say a Tyranitar that has Smackdown and Stone Edge, that's going to be fine for, say, when there are the birds for the, for instance, it was good when the birds were out, right? So, like, Articuno, Moltres, Zapdos, when they were the, like, current meta, Tyranitar was really good for that in a lot of cases. So, again, it has its place to have maybe a Tyranitar in your back pocket that has Stone Edge and Smackdown. Have I lost you, Steph? Or
no, that makes total sense.
Okay, perfect. What's going on, Retro YT over on YouTube? What up, dude?
Welcome in.
Let's see. And Tyranitar does, though, to go to Gooblon's point. Oh, okay, Duval actually said it. Duval's saying, he is right, but Tyranitar still beats Weavile in DPS. So DPS is damage per second. TDO is total damage output. Steph, if you've ever heard that. So
yeah. Wow, this is getting intense.
Yeah,
Let's
I know.
Go.
I didn't mean to get this far into it, but
I love it.
Damage per second is pretty self-explanatory. That's literally like how much damage are you doing in a second. Total damage output is just like at the end of before it faints, how much damage did it totally do, That makes a lot of sense just on its own, but just in case I need to explain that. Weavile, though, did get a lot better. Just basically once Weavile was introduced into the game, Weavile can help you. So that's something we're going to see, Steph, is if you have a Weavile, if it has Feint Attack and Foul Play, you'd be set up for a Dark-type Weavile. The cool thing is...
I don't remember if sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah, keep going.
I will see. We'll take a look. I've been trying to get a good Sneasel, and I don't think I've gotten one that it's been worth the Sinnoh Stone yet, but I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
Yeah, the Sinnoh Stones now are a lot less common, but if you do just want to know how to get them, try just fighting with the trainers every day. Like fight another person or fight the team leaders,
Okay.
You may or may not get one. It's kind of like getting a shiny, although better odds, but it may happen or it may not, but that's how I've gotten a few of them. So if you can do it like once, twice a day, hit up your friends and fight them or your alt account or whatever. So before we go off of slacking, by the way, I did want to note that slacking, the one thing, Steph, that you would actually want is for it to... The thing about slacking is it has its place, right? Have I given you this speech before? Like what slacking is good for and not good for?
You might have, but tell me again and tell the people who might not know, and I don't remember.
We'll try to go as fast as I can because it's like a bit of a tangent. But like slacking, basically not the best defender by any stretch, but not completely useless. So again, we're going to play the psychology game. Because slacking can basically be powered up to be like the highest CP Pokemon, I believe, at this point. But it can be really high CP, like 4,000, blah, blah, blah. CP is not everything, but in this case, what we use the CP for is... The combat power makes gyms stand up taller. So you could have one Pokemon in there. Let's say someone put a full Blissey into the gym, and you put a slacking right next to it. That gym might look like it's at full hard-on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that gym will be, like, really tall. So people that are driving by in their cars, again, this is the psychology of the gyms, is that they'll see that as tall, and if they don't tap on it, they're going to think it's probably full. You know what I mean? But it only has a Blissey and a slacking in it. But the thing is that slacking brings that up so high because of its CP. Now, there is something, if you're not aware, called CP Decay. So that actually means how fast does that motivation, that heart, drain, while it's in the gyms. So slacking, it has very fast CP decay. Essentially, think of it like this, like a Pokemon that has like 1,000 something CP is going to decay less fast, but it only has 1,000 something in the CP. Like it's not as powered up as something else, right? At that point, it's clearly it's lower, right? But the decay is less. Decay, I'm just saying the motivation, like that heart, is going to drain a little bit slower. They all sort of even out. Okay, so like what I mean by that is like, let's say you put a slacking in and a Blissey or like a 1,000 CP Pokemon, they're gonna like still drain the heart about the same, but slacking is gonna lose a lot of that CP because it has so much more, right? Like it's kind of overcompensating.
Right,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the one last thing to say about slacking is it's actually surprisingly it has a huge attack. Like its attack stat is huge. It's like the 18th best in the game or something. But it only can learn Yawn as its fast move. It doesn't have another fast move yet. And we don't have the sleep mechanic as a status effect in Pokemon Go. So clearly right now your options are, what are its charge move? So you've got Body Slam. Body Slam is actually probably, to me, one of the best because of how fast it can go off. Because your slacking generally is going to die before it can get its charge move off. Unless it has Body Slam, maybe. Play Rough is another one because Play Rough is only 2 bars, but you notice Body Slam is 3 bars, right? So that's the faster of a charge attack. Like, it can also learn, Hyper Beam, Earthquake, and that's all garbage. Like, it's gonna die before it can get that off, unless somebody sucks and they just, like, are having a really hard time taking down your slacking, then maybe it'll get it off. But because it has that huge attack, like, Play Rough is also good against Machamp, like, just by type. Obviously Body Slam doesn't have a type. It's normal type, so it doesn't have a strength against anybody, right?
Right.
So that's the thing about Play Rough, is if you didn't have this slacking that you have right there, you know, that's the thing. So I'd say keep it as body slam right now. But if you are looking in the future, you know, slacking actually does have its purpose for that. Like, it's not just garbage. Like, it's fine to have a good slacking is what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, you can go ahead and X out of that, though. I wouldn't focus on wasting, like, Stardust and whatnot on your gym boy right there. Just leave him where he's at. You can put him in gyms. He'll do just fine. You know, kind of does exactly what we said. I like that you have your shiny, lucky Latias. That's really nice.
My precious!
So, yeah, we'll look at that.
Yeah, let me know. So for those of you who don't know, Latias is actually my favorite legendary, so I was super excited to get this. I don't know if Latias is any good, but if it is, I want it to be my favorite thing ever. So,
you know, it's average good. I'm sad to say in Pokemon Go. That's the thing that sucks. I mean, it's good because it's a legendary. All the legendaries are like generally gonna be better off because they're legendary and all that. But you know, as far as dragon types go, you can generally get better performance out of other ones. You know, clear examples are, you know, a lot of people use their Dragonites and Salamence, but I would actually say, you know, like a lot of the legendaries, Rayquaza being the top boy, you know, Rayquaza's the one.
Which, oh my god, it's not up there yet, but spoiler alert, everyone! Spoiler alert, let's go!
You got that shiny Rayquaza.
Yes, I'm so happy.
I did just want to say, Galblon's actually right. I didn't have the exact amount, but slacking is 9th best attack in the game. So when I said 18th, I was a little bit off, obviously.
Holy crap, that's good. Wow, mine sucks.
Right. But anyway, yeah, so this Rayquaza, I'm looking at I have to bend down and... Can you tell me how many bars are missing? Is it 5 on HP? So
HP, it goes right up to the line. Like, it's two of them are filled. And then there's one from attack and defense.
Gotcha. Okay, so that would be 7 total, and that means that it is like an 82, I believe, right? Let's go down. 100, 96, 98, 96, 93, 91, 89, 87. Thank you so much for following, Gooblon.
Thanks for following, friend.
84. Okay, wait. Where did I leave off? Dang it. 100, 98, 96, 93, 91, 89, 84. Yeah, so it's an 82. The good news is it beats the threshold of, you know, like, it's not below 82. So it's still in that, like, top tier, but it, like, is in the suckiest part of top tier.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But if you want to do it, you know, you can name it 82 if you want to, or you can just leave it. But just know that's an 82. And so Rayquaza, you know, Rayquaza's interesting, but I would just kind of, all of my Rayquazas basically have dragon type attacks, because there was a time that people were using it for the flying, but flying, there's sort of an interesting thing about flying types is they're not particularly like meta-relevant often, but there's better flying Pokemon. Surprisingly, Moltres has just become the top flying attacker because of the advent of having Sky Attack. That wasn't something that it could always learn as a charge move. So if you give it Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Moltres actually beats out Honchkrow, I believe, was one of the tops. You know, Rayquaza, some people were using. So anyway, point is, you've got Dragon Tail right there and Aerial Ace. So going based off of my, you know, like, same one or whatever, my same type theory, I guess, then I would probably make that charge move a Dragon type. So, if you want to.
So I should change Aerial Ace to a dragon one?
That's what I would do. Now, here's the question is, what kind of other Rayquazas are in your box? That might be the better thing to do first. So if you, like, X'd out and searched, you know, start typing in Ray, and it should come up.
All right, let's look at our boys.
We'll arrange them by CP as you've got it. And so this means basically...
it's by CP. Okay, yeah. Should I look for their IVs first, and then...
yeah, generally I want to know their IVs. That's where we're going here, because clearly your shiny one is the one that's, like, the highest on the CP.
Right.
But for me, it's always about, like, what are the IVs? Because if you power up something, you obviously know, you're a Pokemon, like, expert of the past games, IVs, you know, obviously perform better than something with lower IVs, right? You know, so, like, that 91 that you've got looks to be the tops, unless this one can beat it out.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're full, and then is that 1 bar missing?
1 and 2 bars.
Okay, so that's actually a 93. So you have a 93 right there. So you're Rayquaza, not a 3. All right.
And then I'll just double check that that's 91.
Yeah, you can check.
But
you can check all of them if you want.
So that's 4 bars are missing. That's 91,
yeah,
right?
that's a 91. And so with this new appraisal system, you can literally just swipe to the left or the right, like go back to appraise, and that lets us like you can do it under appraise. Like so while it's here on the appraisal, you can just swipe to go to the next one. Does that make sense? Like that.
Okay, so this one.
So that one.
So we said it's 5 when it goes up to the line, so the HP is like 5 missing.
Yeah, HP has all of those missing.
5, 2, 7, 8.
I wish I could see it, but I can't. So it's 8 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be an 80%. So sadly, not in that like top tier thing. Goobon is saying she should use Calci IV. I've never used Calci IV, so I don't know if I can recommend that one or not. He's saying it's a good app to scan IVs in real time.
Does it work on iPhone?
Yeah, does it work on iPhone? I don't think it does, because I thought that was why I never used it. But this is honestly better than Pokegenie, like, to be going through and... Duval, I'm confused. You keep saying, like you were saying, 14, 14, 10 is 84, which it shouldn't be. And let's see, then you said, what, it's not 80%? What, so you're saying it's 82? Because it's not like 84 or higher. I think Duval's wrong, though. But, yeah, because if you count down, again, Duval, you count down from what's missing, right? So if it's missing 5, you said 6, 7, 8, so it's missing 8. So 100% is nothing. So if it's missing 1 bar, that's 98. 2 bars, 96. 3 bars, 93. 4 balls, 94. 91, sorry. 89 is 5. 87 is 6. 84 is your 7. And then, okay, so 8 is 82. So yeah, it's not 80%, it's 82%. So yes, Duval is right. It's 82%. We just were missing a finger. All right, so anyway, go ahead and go back. Or wait, is this the last one that we were praising? Or...
So this one would be a...
Yeah, that's an 84. Cool. If we miscounted that. I don't think we miscounted all your other ones. I think it was just
No, I think it was just that one.
We were counting so high up, and somehow... I think it was because I was reading the chat at the same time.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So this 2337 one that you've got at the bottom, do you know if that one's poop or not?
Let's find out. Let's see. It's
okay. I don't even bother scanning them at that point.
All right.
You can keep it if you want. I usually use those for trade fodder. Like if you know somebody that you want to try to trade legendaries with, especially if you get lucky friends, you trade them, and then boom. You got luckies. So if you want to do that, I always mark mine when that's the case. So if you wanted to, like, you could just put T or trade or something like that. So anyway, now that we've got all your Rayquazas right there, clearly the highest one that you had was a 93 in there. I don't know particularly when Pokemon Go would bring back Rayquaza, because they just had, the shiny raids a while ago, and there's a chance it's going to come back in the coming months as like a research box thing, but right now we're still stuck with Flower Crown Eevee until November, so clearly not until November.
I want that shiny so badly. Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, the point of me bringing that up is it might actually be worth it, especially a 93. That's nothing to sneeze at again, so like a 93 is good, and you could power up the 93. That's sort of my threshold. Anything below 93, I don't waste a lot of Stardust on. Here's the twist is, unless it's something that like you only get like one of, like your mythicals, Mew, Celebi, whatever, or if it's something that really is that useful, there's not a lot of cases where that's the case. There's not a lot of situations for that. And here, look, even Gooblon is saying shouldn't bother spending on a Rayquaza if it's under 91%. So his threshold looks to be 91. So everybody kind of has their different sweet spot there, and I would suggest, obviously, it being based on what your level is in Pokemon Go. Like, how many other Pokemon do you have? What's your current level? And all things considered. But holistically, where I'd say you're at with Rayquazas, you could totally power up your 93. If you wanted to power up your shiny because it's shiny, I completely understand that methodology just because I love shiny Pokemon. So that's the case where we'll say, it's fine. It's 84, but,
And what's nice is I got really lucky. At least the attack and defense is really good on this Ray. And what does the HP do? Like,
you have to think of it like HP is that health bar that, like, a defender has, So like that, obviously, the more HP, the better, but, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Blissey, for example, has, like, humongous HP, but it's also, like, backed up by that defense. So, you know, think of HP as like, okay, that's how much is in the bar, the health bar. We need to take that all the way down to 0. But if it has high defense, that's going to take a lot longer. Like, all of my hits are going to do little tiny damage. But if they don't have a lot of defense, who cares? Like, okay, they have a lot of HP, but boom, we're like hitting them hard because they don't have good defense, you know? Does that make sense? Like,
that makes sense.
that's sort of the way to think about
So my question is, so we've got the 2 that I care about, who I'm gonna work on, are the 93 and my shiny, because I like the shiny.
Yeah.
So should I make both of them? I don't know. You have Air Slash and Outrage.
Yeah, for that. So.
I totally am cool with TMing everything you think I should TM. So yeah, if you want to let me know if I should change these, like the moves, or if I should keep them, let me know.
Yeah, so definitely if it was, like, this is what I would say to anybody who's a subscriber, you know, getting this, like, I would say my preference has always been for Rayquaza to not be anything but a dragon-type attacker. So I would say, okay, 93, we're going to give it a fast. Your shiny, we're going to give it a charge. And I want to say hi to High Roller, by the way, 181 on
What's
Twitch.
What's up, friend?
And
welcome in.
He needs to make a new friend. So he's saying, can someone please add me? So definitely he's got his friend code in there. Feel free to also join our Discord. There's a friend code swap section in there. So Discord, there you go. Link is in the chat. And let's see. Weavile earlier was saying a Pokemon with 15 attack IV will have their base stat plus 15 attack. Let's see. Okay. So yeah. So Steph, if you want to, you can either do it now or just do it later.
Yeah, I'll do it right now. I'll do it now.
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna forget.
Go
so
ahead.
this one needs the.
I didn't see which. I didn't see which one it was. Okay, you're fast. So you want your fast attack to instead be Dragon. And I will take this chance to also say hi to Lucifer Hamilton over on YouTube. What up, dude?
Is Dragon Tail good?
Yes, Dragon Tail's the only other one, so that's great. So we'll go ahead and X out of that. And just keep a mental note or whatever. You can power that up some. It would be very useful to you to power up. And this one will use a charge. TM. Good stuff, and it should get Outrage. So there you go. So perfect. And so again, I don't think Rayquaza's coming back, like, unless they pull a fast one on us, but for a while. So point is, you can definitely afford to power these up. Maybe use some rare candies if you want to. So anyway, Rayquaza actually can be used against the current Giratina raid boss. Not saying that that's the best choice or anything, but Giratina altered form does have a dragon, as part of its typing, so so that's the interesting thing. But anyway, let's move on. So go ahead and X the Ray up there.
Oops.
It's okay, JC. Yeah, go back into Pokemon. If you wanted to, by the way, you could check that Pat Rat to see if it's shiny.
Yo, I want to get a shiny in your stream right
and the
now.
Metatite. Yeah, and the Metatite.
I have a shiny Metatite. Okay, can we talk about how Metacham's total CP is like 1,000? Why is it so bad?
It's total. You mean so? It's
like
maximum.
Maxed out. Yeah, Elliot maxed his shiny Metacham. He's level 40, and it's at 1,022 or something total.
Duval says it is the best choice, though. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know if it's the best. Like, it's the best dragon choice, but I don't know that it's the best single choice against that. Duval, I sense a lot of frustration on your part, dude. You just. Please relax, okay? The Indominus Rex is here with a friend code, dude. He's got his friend code. It looks like we got a lot of friend codes in the chat. Gooblon says, Dr. Kendo, you played Ingress? I did not. Steph, you play Ingress ever? I never.
What's that?
It's Niantic's basically first game before Pokemon Go. I don't know if they made any other ones, but like before Pokemon Go, they had an AR game that was similar called Ingress. It was like about capturing portals and things like that. So yeah. So let's see. I don't know, it's weird you don't take any advice from the chat. Well, Duval, I mean, I don't need to take... He says when you are wrong, but I'm not wrong. I took the advice. Again, I feel like, there's a different example, like, if you're kind of being aggressive and being a jerk about it, because I, for instance, admitted I was wrong when I was counting wrong, so, I still took the chat's advice then, so... I don't quite get what you're saying. I just feel like you're being, really abrasive, So, yeah, that's exactly right, what Steph's saying. So, are we straight, Yeah, that Uberblitz is take a chill pill, dude. take a cheese.
So I think that's really cool about Pokemon Go is like a lot of
Yeah.
people have different strategies about what they think is best or not. And I think it's really cool that we can all talk about it, but we don't want to be like straight up like, nah, don't do this because this is bad, you know, versus like, I think we should do this because of this reason, you know? So that's all.
That's the thing is like, you know, if you're, I think the point comes in that like a lot of people with Pokemon Go that are like pro players can give other pro players like a really bad name by being that way, you know, because like I've met a lot of really toxic pros and whatnot, so that's all I'm saying. And so yeah, like obviously Rayquaza is the best dragon type, you know, but like that's all we're saying. So anyway, Steph, let's continue. So you were talking about Latias, you know, that was why we went to Rayquaza, because
yeah, sorry, I got distracted.
No, well, we all did.
It was useful.
It brought us onto a good path, because Rayquaza, definitely good thing to look at, good to analyze, and all of that. So anyway, can you scroll down again just so I can see your Latias's...
Yes, and in the meantime, I do have a question for the chat. Whether you're lurking or hanging out with us, I want to know what's everyone's pride and joy in Pokemon Go. This Latias, again, for personal reasons, Latias is my favorite legendary.
Yeah.
It's my fave. So, what is everybody's favorite Pokemon that they've gotten Pokemon Go, and why? That's what I want.
So I think, to answer your question, I'm going to say Mew 100%, because I have a Mew that's 100%. So definitely pride and joy there, but not the best Pokemon to use, you know, like for the meta or anything, but just awesome because it's a Mew and it's 100%. It's like...
Dude, I'm so jealous that you have that. That's amazing.
That was like before we were ever streaming Pokemon Go on Twitch. I was just like showing it to the webcam like this. I'm showing it to the stream, and like we caught it that way, like showing it off, like on camera, like off the webcam.
Right.
Oh, dude, that's awesome that you got that from Mike. I know Mike.
Yeah, I got to meet him.
Pakala. Yeah,
I love
awesome.
Mike. Heck yeah.
That's so cool. So anyway, let's see. Indominus Rex was saying, my favorite is the Armored Mewtwo. Do you have a awesome IV one, or do you know its IVs? Because that's pretty sweet. I think I have like a 96 of those, or 98 or something. I love how Armored Mewtwo looks, but... Okay, yeah, it was 96. Lucifer Hamilton says, OMG, I just traded my friend and got a Shundo Latios.
Yo!
Yeah, that is awesome, man. So definitely... Uberbud says, I think my shiny Gardevoir, mainly because I got it the one time that I wasn't lazy. Well, hey, good job not being lazy, am I right?
Let's go.
Good job, Uberblitz!
So with this Latias, I know you said earlier it was like okay-ish. So how are the moves? Do we TM them? That's the one thing I'm gonna do with this on the spot here in the stream. Let me know if I need to TM anything, or if the moves are good, because I want to get rid of those if I can.
In general, I'd get rid of the psychic. You know, it has psychic right there. For me, it's again that same type thing.
Like dragon types are better.
Yeah, and we've kind of already reached the point where my same typingness wouldn't be relevant, right? And it was with the Metagross where we started. That was the only time, kind of like, there are those extenuating circumstances, and they're all sort of irregular. So I don't have like a blanket rule for them, if that makes sense, but they're case by case is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Let's see. So please. Ugh. All right, so I just had something pop up. It's a, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's this. It's a Numel. Is it Nummel, Steph, or Numel? I've always wondered about that.
I always say it as Nummel, but I think it depends.
Because I think that's what the anime said. But anyway, let's see. So we'll go ahead and say, if you want to, you can change that Psychic to Dragon type or whatever. If you want to, you know. Yeah, I know Latias is your baby, so if you had like a specific methodology, I guess, with it, then keep it how it is. But
all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
You're like, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And I'll go ahead and accept.
Oh, you got a shiny Giratina rooster? Oh, they're so good.
Oh yeah, dude, that's amazing. Because I've done a crap ton of raids and not gotten my shiny yet. So damn.
Excuse me, I'm Canadian.
Yeah,
everyone.
That's definitely. Amish Rooster's like, I'd say my shiny Giratina or my 96 Giratina. Yeah, dude, those are both awesome.
You said charge. Psychic is a charged move, right?
Yeah. So yeah, do the charge TM.
Perfect.
Looks like I got a lot of
Let's
friend
go.
requests. I don't think I have enough space for all these friend requests. I'm just gonna have to like delete some and add later. Sorry, guys. Are you a real physician or have a PhD in a field? The number 5 is asking basically, am I a doctor? If Dr. Dre is a doctor, I'm reviving people from the dead with with my skills. So let's see.
That was always my favorite answer.
Yeah, you always
when people
love that.
ask you that.
You were
You're like,
ready
listen, if
for that
Dr.
word, too.
Dre could be a dog. I know. I was so hoping
You
you
were
would
ready
say
for
that
that.
because that's. Listen, online you can be whoever you want to be.
So anyway, let's see. Go ahead and we'll scroll down a little bit now. Actually, we should look at Salamence because you do have some high up Salamences, but they're 84. So do you know if you have any other Salamencei or whatever?
I have a 91. Okay. I forgot about that. I don't know what this.
So like, you know, that's Salamence is kind of like interesting because after Community Day, it did kind of get back on the same playing field where it could compete a little bit more. Because before that, it was like, no, if you didn't have Rayquaza or something, you should just use Dragonite. You know, like that was sort of the thing. Like there was sort of an echelon that Salamence like is really cool. We like Salamence, and Bagon sort of like was a rare Pokemon at the time, and I would say sometimes it still is rare. But like anyway, point being that Salamence, you know, if you were gonna spend your Stardust somewhere, I'd say Rayquaza first. You know?
Okay.
So don't really worry about it right now from your standpoint. You don't have like millions of dust or anything, right? Neither do I.
Yo, Rooster coming in with that follow.
Thank you so much, Amish Rooster, for following, dude. I really appreciate it. And the number 5 says, oh, I was only asking because I have a wart on my toe. Yeah, dude, sorry. My PhD is in rap rockology with a minor in women's studies. So anyway, let's go ahead and you can X the Sala part, the search bar. Just hit that X.
Oh, god damn it. I always do this. Okay.
It's okay. I was trying to take a drink of water. When you did that, I almost choked on it. Okay, let's see. So we'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit. You know what I love, by the way, is that you have that 93 Mamoswine. So we'll talk about ice types right here, and we can look at that Mamo. Definitely give it the ice types, you know. Go ahead and scroll down, by the way, for the Mamo. Yeah, there you go. So here's the thing, is like Mamoswine, it is kind of interesting because it could learn Ancient Power with that Community Day and everything. And so I should ask you before you change any moves, Steph, do you go PvP at all? Like, do you ever like to get into it? Because I do not go into PvP. Like,
I would say what my main goal as a Pokemon Go player is I want to do good. I want raids. I want like mons for raids, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Because even with the gyms, like those are cool, but I feel like I end up putting random things in the gym. So like for me, it's really just for the raid hours and the just raid events when going out with friends. That's kind of what I need good mods. Like I want to be able to eventually solo raids. Like right now, I don't think I can do that right now. But yeah.
Yeah. So let me first answer. Amish Rooster was like, do you also like play and catch while streaming and stuff?
Heck
and so,
yeah!
So like that's what the majority of the Pokemon Go streams are. You know, this one is like actually a special stream to sort of demonstrate a subscriber perk. So if you are a subscriber on Twitch, that means that, you know, you can get a number of perks, but one of them is that I'd go through your Pokemon Go box with you and do kind of what we're doing right here. So, Steph, based on that answer, you know, and that's sort of how I play it too, honestly. I don't really get too into the PvP at all, actually. Like, I kind of never was into, like, Pokemon battles, which is funny because it's like that's half of what Pokemon is.
It's cool that was at Pokemon Worlds, though. Did you guys see that?
That was actually really cool
because
a lot of those people were winning their matches by, like, just it was literally the hair of like one move made the match, you know. Like that was what was crazy about it. So it wasn't literally just tapping on the screen as fast as you can. I mean, that was part of it, right?
Right.
But like, yeah. So anyway, as far as this Mamoswine goes, Steph, someone could have a different opinion on this, but like in general, I'm gonna go again with that same attack type thing. And Mamoswine is the best ice attacker. So in that regard, this Mamoswine currently that you have is awesome because it's a shiny and it's a 93 and it's lucky. So like it has everything going for it, but its moves are Mud Slap and Ancient Power. So in that regard, you know, I would actually change both of them personally. Ancient Power is a Community Day move. You're often not getting rid of a Community Day move. The main reason I would, again, is because the ice type thing, it's the best ice attacker. Now, this could also vary, though, if you have other Mamoswine in your box. Let's say you had, like, 6 of them that are all really great. Well, okay, you could keep some with, like, Ancient Power if you wanted to have that, because Ancient Power, it does have the status effect that it'll build up your Pokemon in a, PvP battles and whatnot. I don't know, and no one can ask me about meta-relevance for Pokemon in PvP because I will not know the answers to those. So if you're ever going to wonder, like, wait, is Mamoswine a good, like, Great League, Ultra League, Master League? I'm not going to know. So I'm very sorry if you love PvP. I don't know a fucking thing about PvP practically in this game, which is funny because my entire meta-relevance knowledge is in the PvE, and raids and stuff. So... Anyway, Steph, I'm going to leave that up to you, but, you're even seeing in the chat right now, Lucifer Hamilton was saying Ice Powder, Snow, and Ancient Power's OP. So, if you wanted to keep your Ancient Power, you can always do that. Sebla says, I'm new to this game. It's so fun. It is so fun, and that's awesome that you're new to it. This hopefully will help you out, because we're talking about a lot of the different points of each Pokemon, that Steph is showing us. Steph is on this stream with us right now. If you hear that, if you hear the girl voice that's talking, the woman voice, and that's obviously not me. So,
okay, so I'm gonna do a fast TM.
And you're gonna get rid of.
And we'll start with that. Yeah, let's get powder.
That's a great choice because you can always sit on that decision and think like, okay. It also depends, right? So like, Ancient Power, the kind of interesting thing was, like, you could use that in some cases where you could also use Ice. I'm trying to think where that crosses over, but anyway, I would just, for now, we can go ahead and X out, but I would say that Mamoswine is certainly worth powering up as much as you want, but again, it's already 3-2.
Would we like to take a look? Oh god, I can't
Mamoswine! No.
Oh, I have another 93!
Yeah, let's take a look at that one and see what it's got.
Oh, this one was already with...
So yeah, notice how, like, now you basically have two Mamoswines that have that identical moveset, right? They're both Powder Snow and Ancient Power. I would absolutely say, like, change at least one of those to, like, be a full Ice Mamo. And, which one you choose is fine either way, because literally Mamoswine is so good against something that's weak against Ice that even this one, this one right here that you have on screen is less CP, like it's less powered up. They're both the same IVs, but like it's less powered up, but it's still gonna do good. You know what I mean? Like even at that 2,300, 358 CP that it has, it's still gonna be like a contender. Like so Mamoswine is just that good. So. Sebla saying, yeah, you got lots to learn, Amish Rooster. Oh, it said, even if you're clueless as to the status and details of each Pokemon, it's still addicting. I've been playing a little while, and I still have a ton to learn. Well, I'm really glad that you guys are here then, because, I think if you're super pro or whatever, this is going to be old news for you. But if you're, like, anywhere in between or beginner, like, this is really good information for you to have, I feel. And so, Steph, we can leave that up to you, which one you want to do. If it was me, like, this is just my, like, personal thing, I would probably make them both just, like, all Ice. But some people use Ancient Power. Again, you saw Lucifer in the chat saying, like, Ancient Power. And he's actually saying, Powder Snow is a nice, fast move, good for Dragon types. And Ancient Power is great for Dragon, too. And so that's actually a good kind of thing to look at is, let's say they had a Dragonite, both of those moves would be something proper, right? Like Dragonite's weak to Rock too, but doesn't it have a double weakness to Ice? That's the main thing, is that oftentimes, Steph, am I right or am I wrong?
What has a double? Sorry, say that again.
Dragon types. Let's say that your Mamoswine's going up against a Dragonite, in the gym. So isn't it double weak to Ice, whereas it's just the normal weakness to Rock? So that's the one thing about Ancient Power. Ancient Power, again, does have the status effects with it, but...
Right.
So for me, Ice just generally... Like, Ice is so weird, because, when we have a use for Ice, it's amazing. But we don't always have a use for Ice. Like, it's not... It's meta-relevant, but it's not... You're not going to get to pull it out all that often. But we did get to when Rayquaza was the raid boss, so, like...
they got to shine!
Yeah, so, like, Mamoswine was amazing for that. So, like, with more people maybe getting Salamence and Dragonite now and stuff, like, maybe, it's just good to have that Mamoswine. That's what I'm saying. And so that's why I kind of leave it at all Ice, and it would have the double if it was all Ice moves. Your other Ice types, though, Steph definitely wants this, but Weavile next down the line, but also Glaceon. So
I want my Glaceon.
Yeah, so Steph, you have a 2469 Glaceon. It looks like right there, and it's actually still named Eevee because it.
Yeah, it is. Oopsies. Is this my shiny one? No, it's not.
And I don't know, you probably knew this already, but what you can do is you can actually remove everything and then just press OK. No! Oh, wait. I was going to say you could press OK and it would populate the name. Like, if you leave the name blank, it'll populate it with Glaceon. Like, it'll populate it with whatever the Pokemon's name is. But yeah, Sebla, you're talking about, Ancient Power, it doesn't have stab, I typically kind of look at that, like same type attack bonus. So Steph, I don't know if you wanted it to actually be called Glaceon 89 or just 89, but that's fine.
89's fine.
So I was going to say,
yeah,
your Glaceon is actually, it's not the best one in Ice, but it is actually relevant, and actually Frost Breath and Avalanche are a good combo. So I think Glaceon can learn, other Ice moves, like Ice Shard, is in there. I think, we may want to just, do a double check real fast, but to my knowledge, I remember Frost Breath. Yeah, it looks like, so Frost Breath, Ice Shard is right below that, so just... If you really, this is really nitpicky, right? We're talking about an A to an A-. So where Frost Breath would be an A and Ice Shard would be an A-, right? So that's literally what I'm saying, is that Frost Breath is only that much better. And I think Frost Breath and Avalanche are actually among the greatest Ice type moves overall. So this is just for kind of any Pokemon. But the good thing about Glaceon is it can learn either of those, and we're lucky. Yours has Avalanche, so we don't need to mess with that, because Avalanche...
Let's go.
Perfect charge move. So, I'm sorry, did you just have your appraisal of that one? Did we need to appraise it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So...
We weren't counting that, I'm sorry.
It's missing 7. So here's my question, because... Again, if you guys don't know me much, I love Glaceon, and I want a maxed out, beautiful, shiny Glaceon. So this is one I got from, it was the research. The research, this is my shiny Eevee from that.
Here I am. I'm being a jerk, because I'm showing my lucky 100% Glaceon on screen. No! I'm being such a jerk, though.
I want it so bad.
I know. So what were you going to say?
I need a regular one, too. I haven't appraised all my Eevees yet, I don't think. But is this worth... This should be worth powering up, right? I just don't know if I'm going to get a better one soon.
Because it's shiny, that's the thing that throws me off right now. And that's literally just because you and I love shiny Pokemon. Otherwise, I'd say don't put your Stardust into that, because Stardust is such a valuable thing to have. It's so I feel like it's so hard for us to have Stardust. We're always running out of it, and Steph and I are both not in the million Stardust club. So the point is, I probably would not. I would just say Haku is a really cool Pokemon. It's awesome, but we're probably not going to spend a lot of Stardust on it, if any at all.
We'll wait. Okay, cool.
And so the thing is, though, your other one is an 89. I wish it was better. I'm not saying that 89 is bad. I'm just, me, my my echelon.
It's max attack, though. I forgot.
That's cool. So, Glaceon has a nice type attacker. There you go. So, again, 89 is not bad, though. For those who are just now joining us, I like to kind of keep things 93 and above wherever I can. So that's sort of where my threshold hits, and everybody's threshold can be different depending on where they are in the game. Excuse me, I'm gonna burp. Okay, it was mostly silent. So Steph, as far as this one goes, because you love Glaceon so much, you could power it up or whatever, but if it was me, I'm just putting myself in this, if I owned this account, I probably wouldn't until I get a better one, just because Eevee is common enough in this game to catch another one, and that means you have more of a chance just of getting something higher. And Glaceon is one that we can force evolve into, right? We don't need to do a nickname trick or anything. We just put down a Frost lure, and get it. So that's my thinking about this. I just know that you love Glaceon so much, so that's kind of the only reason maybe that you would. But, oh man, Uberblitz giving a -1 on that burp.
Ouch!
He's probably right. Okay. It was highly disappointing.
That's good to know. Okay.
By the way, earlier, what's going on? Guillermo Gonzalez over on YouTube. Forgot to, say hi to you. What's up? Okay, Amish Rooster was like, I'm still trying to rope a shiny Tauros. Something about those that scream bad ass, dude. Well, yeah, Tauros is in my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time, and I did not get the shiny, so I am too, man. I am right there with you. Okay, so Steph, Melmetal. The funny thing about Melmetal, that's a great one right there that you've got. It's 93 and everything. That's cool. It's been evolved. Melmetal kind of sucks. It's like
Rip.
the weird thing about Meltan is, we got introduced to it as a mythical. They're like, okay, this is a brand new Pokemon, like no one's ever heard of it before. It's mythical, yet we can trade it, we can put it in gyms, we can do a lot of things that we can't normally with mythical Pokemon that we can actually do with Meltan and Melmetal. So a lot of people, I think, were hoping better for Melmetal, but we're not even really going to focus on it. I don't think you need to optimize it at all.
Okay.
So Kyogre is the next one in line. Kyogre, amazing. As far as
sadly, I think I only have 2.
Well, you know what? They've brought it back so many times. I feel like at some point they'll bring it back. Hopefully they will. If not, I think I can trade you Kyogre one day. One of these days, if we can ever find each other at a con again, we'll do the trade, because you should have as many Kyogres as you want, really, that are high IVs. Lucifer's like, I'm gonna break your mind. I got the Shundo Tauros out of an egg, dude.
Wow,
that is amazing, man.
Let's go.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool. So good job, dude. Please tell me that you're gonna treasure that Tauros. So anyway, Kyogre, the thing is, best water type attacker. It can obviously learn ice type, as we can see right here. It has Blizzard. It can have ice type moves. Because you don't have another Kyogre that's high up there with the IVs and the CP, Waterfall and Blizzard OP is what Lucifer Hamilton is saying, and it does. It has its moments to shine. The thing is, we can even pull up Kyogre just on, like, I can pull it up on a website and everything to kind of show you the what's the word? Like the intricacy, the deep, the nitty gritty. That's the word I'm looking for. So generally, again, just when we think about like same type and stuff like that, we would obviously go for a water type. It's different for PvP and PvE, but like I would still go Waterfall Hydro Pump if it was me. That's generally going to be a better thing than, it can also learn Thunder, which is interesting, but Blizzard.
I think that's what my other one is. I think my other one's Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, what's going on? Ninth Black Hokage.
Oh, it's not.
That is Hokage, right, Steph?
Yeah, that Naruto reference.
Yeah, we're talking
Let's
Naruto.
Go. Hi, friend.
I like that emote too, by the way. That's a neat little emote.
It's so cute.
I'm sorry, Steph. We were talking about your Kyogre right now, and so again, I would again go Hydro Pump on the 91 one that you have.
Okay.
Because like Blizzard is a good move and everything. It's still going to be suboptimal compared to the combination of Waterfall Hydro Pump. Now,
oh my gosh, Otaku with swag! Another Otaku! I'm loving these references. Hello, friend.
Oh, yes, Otaku with swag. What up, dude? Over on Twitch. And yeah, Lucifer Hamilton was like, he's my best friend, talking about that Shundo Tauros. Well, dude, you and I would be good friends too then, Lucifer Hamilton, because I love Tauros. So, yeah, Ninth of Black Kokage was like, hey, Otaku. You said but I'm sad. I still need my shiny Dragonite. Oh, dude, you'll get there. Dragonite's one that's in the realm of getting.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because look at that weather bonus right now. The plus 26. Like I could never get weather bonus on the Blizzard.
Yeah, it's well, in Canada, I guess, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I guess I could.
I can never get it because I'm in Texas. So
yeah.
But we're not too worried about the weather boosting anyway. It can actually help you out a lot. Weather boost can, but we're not going to worry about that for this. Now, I do see, obviously, your other Kyogre has Waterfall and Hydro Pump. We don't have an appraisal on it. I'm presuming it's probably below, right? We don't know its IVs, or do we? Well, it has 3 stars. 5.
It's missing 5, 8.
And then 8 total? Is that what it is? Again, I can't see, so...
I think it's missing 8.
Okay. Yeah, Dubo's like Blizzard, no stab, Pepe hands.
Oh,
that's my thing.
So should I... Alright, I gotta make the plunge.
So yeah, if you wanted to take my recommendation, I'd charge TM that Kyogre, because Kyogre it's a useful Pokemon in a lot of regards. Like even some people that are just starting, let's say they like have a Kyogre, the game often how the game pre-recommends a party for you. When you're like starting a raid, you usually don't use those. You usually want to go with like your own pre-made parties or whatever.
Right.
But like sometimes the game will just give you Kyogre even when it's not like relevant because Kyogre is that awesome because like the game knows like Kyogre is just a great Pokemon.
He's just good.
Yours right now has
Amazing.
3,019. You know, you could even power
I mean,
it up
worst
more
case,
if you
I could always TM them again if I needed them
Yeah.
for like whatever.
Yeah, because you have a lot of TMs, but like to me, Blizzard just not the move I would go with. So I like this
trust.
that you have. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So let's look at your Moltres. Actually, that's probably a good place because Moltres can be actually the top fire type and the top. As we mentioned before, it can be the top flying type now because it can learn what your Moltres has. It has Sky Attack, and so the interesting thing about that is like now that Moltres can have Wing Attack and Sky Attack as a combo. But again, I mentioned this to you before, is like there's really not a situation where I'd want my Moltres to be both flying. Flying types just, I think they kind of haven't been as relevant, you know, in the meta. Usually you can get something better for whatever you're fighting. Fire type, not necessarily also getting the chance to shine a lot of the times, but if, say, they got a Metagross in that gym, you know, your fire types are going to tear it apart. So your fire types have their place in time, you know. So Moltres, if you wanted to, this one's cool because it's a shiny. If you want to get the true appraisal, we could go so we know it's either 87 or 89.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You don't have to say
forgot.
sorry at all. It's just, it's based on the Poke Genie.
Oh,
looks
4,
like-
5, 6.
So it's 6 total? What was that? So 5 is 89, so 6 is 87. So that's an
Okay.
87. I wish it was an 89. But Lucifer was like, no, don't change it. Never coming back. Ninth Black Hokage saying all these good Pokemon, and I'm here not even about to beat a 3-star raid.
You'll get there, friend.
You will absolutely get there. Everyone.
I'm right now, I just
Yeah.
catch things, and Dr. K's like, okay, here's what you actually need to do.
Yeah, Lucifer Hamilton earlier was like, I could get it. I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania. It snows and just keeps going. Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm in Texas where we're like, wait, what is that white stuff falling from the sky? So anyway, Moltres, you know, awesome Pokemon in general, but again, I feel like you're not going to get all the chances to use it that I wish you did. So we can kind of leave this right now, but my recommendation probably would just to go all fire on it in general. So
I think my question, I don't know if I have another flying, unless I'm crazy. I
Okay.
don't know if I have anything. I guess Ho-Oh, is Ho-Oh a flying type? Yeah.
It can have flying moves, I think, but like Ho-Oh is the interesting one because it's, you know, its typing is fire flying. I wouldn't even bother like messing with your Ho-Oh too much because you're gonna have better Pokemon in general to take what Ho-Oh can take. And so that's why I'm only pinpointing right now Pokemon that like we really can make use of a lot.
Right,
you know?
right.
And then we're gonna see where are the holes missing, right? You know, like after that, you know, what did we not cover? Which I love that you have that 100% Milotic, by the way.
Yes, I love this.
Wasn't that your first hundo?
Yeah, this was my first 100%, guys.
So Milotic, interesting case. You know, am I even saying its name right? That was another one. I was like,
That's
do you
how I say Milotic.
Milotic or something, or
Some people say melodic.
Melodic.
I don't say it like that. I say
Yeah.
Milotic.
Yeah, I think Milotic is how I say it. But essentially, that's kind of an interesting one because it can have Waterfall, Blizzard. That's like a really good combination with it. What does yours have actually? By the way, Waterfall Surf is to have the same type.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that I like that again for the same reason that I've mentioned over and over again. We're beating a dead horse now. Is Waterfall Surface same type attack, you know?
Right.
So you know we don't even really have to mess with that. It is 100%. Milotic has its time and place. Like it's not the best, but it's not the worst of things, right? You know. So as far as that, like I would just say, Waterfall Surf, its most useful attacking set. And I think actually Vaporeon would be above Milotic in general, but kind of like in the same, like we're going on the same realm here.
Right.
It can learn Dragon Tail. I don't know, like it's different if your Milotic is going to be a defender. That's why I'm kind of like thinking about things right now, Steph. Like normally we wouldn't take this much time to like focus on it, but Milotic can be set up as like a defender as well. And so in that case, like Dragon Tail like edges out Waterfall. but like Waterfall is gonna be like better. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Blizzard is on par with Surf. Yeah. So as a defender, either one of those could work, I guess. Blizzard and Surf. Hyper Beam, no, though. So if you had a Hyper Beam, get rid of it.
I think that's what it was at first.
Okay, so yeah, you made a good choice then.
Do you wanna really quick? Let's look. I forget what my hundos are.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, can I tell the story about this?
Nice. Yes, tell us.
So, funny story for you guys in the chat. Oops, sorry, it's doing the sleep mode thing. It was during community day. I have a 96 Shinx. So I was like, guys, I already got 96. So unless it's a hundo that I'm about to get, then I don't really care. Like unless it's a hundo or a shiny, right? So I say that so casually. I check it. It's 100%. I'm like, okay, he wanted to be used. So I'm actually super excited.
So the interesting thing about that is that when Gen 4 came around, electric types had like a surge of others that could like come to to help us basically, and yeah, that is epic. Sebla saying nice, that's epic. And so yeah, I agree. So the cool thing about Luxray and everything is that Luxray it's high up there, but it's like the lowest of the three like kind of new electrics, like after Gen 4 and after some move things changed. So I'm not going to say that like Luxray should be used over other things. Like Electivire, for example, can beat out Luxray. Clearly you need like Zapdos and Raikou. And here's the interesting thing about those two is that this is funny. We're kind of giving a whole electric talk now. So I hope this helps you, Steph. But Zapdos, like statistically, is like, amazing electric type attacker. It's the one we want to use. But there was a time actually when Lapras was the raid day. Do you remember that? Like they made a raid day for Lapras, and Lapras can have ice type attacks. Like so that was the thing where Zapdos lost out to Raikou. So Raikou actually, oh nice, you've got your shiny Lapras.
I may just trade me one.
Let's see.
That's not good.
It's not good, man. But yeah, the interesting thing is that like Gen 5 is also going to shake up some of these types too, I bet. And as we go on. So like, I hope this information doesn't become obsolete soon.
How do I get the Unova stones? Because I got one randomly and I didn't know how I got it.
That's actually something I haven't. It sucks because I haven't gotten to play Pokemon Go all that much lately, so I actually don't know the ins and outs of the Unova stone. So I apologize that this is one area like. It's better for me to say that I don't know something than to try to make up something. So like in this case, I literally don't know because I haven't messed with that. So someone in the chat will be able to help you, I'm sure. Especially
the weak box. What's
we
that?
Had some. He says they are only available. He means the like your research breakthrough. Like the weekly. Like when you do the weekly.
This thing.
So like you do your tasks for the whole 7 days or whatever. So anyway, Asylum Smash is yes. He's confirming. Just through the research breakthrough at the moment, and yeah, that's interesting to note as well when you say at the moment because. At the moment, it's true. Just like Sinnoh Stones were at a time, you could only get them one way. Now you can like get them other ways. Like oftentimes, Niantic is notorious for like making these things more available in the future. So just something to think about. But before we finish up that electric talk, the reason that Raikou I was saying was like better than Zapdos in that case was Raikou wasn't weak to the ice type, right? So like where electric type was concerned, and Steph, that might be something that we search in a second, is like just what are your electric types overall? But we talked about it because you have that Luxray. Now again, Luxray kind of, it's a newcomer and everything with Gen 4, but like it's good. It's just not the best, like it's just not way high up there, but it's not way down low up there either, down
right
low. So Luxray, not worthless, but the reason I wanted to look, like you may even just go into the search bar and type electric just so we can see your overall electric types.
It can do it by types?
Yes. So that's something else you can
learn.
know.
Wait.
Yeah, just you have to type it. Yeah, you have to type it fully. Like you're gonna be like, wait, why isn't it working?
This is amazing.
And so because we have it by CP, that'll generally let us see, some of the tops that you have. Because just generally, even if the IVs aren't as good.
Can I cry about this? I'm gonna rant to your chat. Okay,
what's up?
Guys, do you see how many Magnemite candy I have? This was before,
81.
by the way, I had all those other rare candies.
Mm-hmm.
I saw so many, because I refused to use my lure yet, and I want the Magnezone, and I was there, and I didn't have enough candy 3 times! 3 different occasions, I did not have the candy, and I kind of want to make this at 100 so I can get Magnezone.
Yeah.
I was so close!
Yeah, and Magnezone was one of those, right? It was Electivire, Magnezone, and Luxray were kind of these, like, new Gen 4 electric types that were non-legendary, but they pushed their way to make the Pokemon better than it was. Like Magneton, was just kind of right? But when it's Magnezone, it's at least it probably takes like the second place of those. Like Electivire, Magnezone, Luxray is kind of how that tier would go. I have an Electivire 100%, by the way. Here's my Hundo Electivire.
Amazing.
It's funny because there's not enough characters to type for their name, so mine's called Electivire. It doesn't have the E on the end. Electivire 100. But anyway, Steph, so I was going to say go back to those electric types.
Yes.
But,
I'm going.
It's okay. Yeah, so
go.
Lil Mewtwo, what's up, by the way, over on Twitch, and he's like, can I see your hundros? Yeah, so I'll show you my hundo percentos while I'm talking about this. That way you guys can see that on screen while I talk. So, Steph, Raikou...
And remember, guys, wait, I'm going to shameless plug for you.
Please do, thank
you. Remember, guys, we are doing a really cool special stream because Dr. K has a new sub perk. Now, you don't have to be sub to get any advice from Dr. K or any opinions or just have a talk about Pokemon Go. But if you want something kind of like this where he specifically looks at your Pokemon exactly through a screenshot or through a video or whatever, and you want to get some advice about, what to do for a raid hour or different advice, that is a cool perk, and you guys can join the Discord and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in that, get some cool consulting. It's a thing.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Steph. Yeah, as Pikatangan said, you're a great hype man, hype girl, hype woman, hype woman.
That's my job.
So anyway, I was just showing off my hundos right now while I'm going to talk about this, but we kind of got a mixed bag here. But it looks like you obviously have plenty of Raikous. You probably did the raid day, right, for Raikou?
Yeah, I got no shiny.
So, oh man, I got a shiny 98. That was the best dog day that I had for the Raikous. So obviously you're 1945. In this case, CP does actually equate to the IVs. That's an interesting thing, as some people will say, like, if they're really new to the game, they may not know about IVs. So something we should specify is, like, if you say, like, but my Pokemon has such high CP, that sometimes doesn't matter to me. I'm looking at IVs, that's what I'm always looking at. So for example, when I was saying earlier, like, I have a threshold of, like, 93% and above, like, that's what I'm looking at. So, like, you could have something that's, like, huge CP, but if it's powered up compared to something that has high IVs, and you power that one up, the IVs are going to perform better. So that's kind of just the overall thing. So the interesting thing is, as Steph is looking at this Raikou, that's the highest CP one she has. If she got all of those on raid day, each CP of the raid bosses goes according to an IV percentage. Now, what I mean by that is, like, 1945 equals this, 1941 equaled that, like, on that day, you could look at the CP of the raid boss as you were catching it and know what you were getting if you knew which amounts corresponded to which CP. Does that make sense? I feel like that got a little confusing.
That makes sense.
But
no, I think that totally makes sense. I don't know if all of mine, like, some might have been from the box too, potentially.
Yeah, so
or maybe they weren't. I don't know.
If they were different, then, that's interesting. But, like, we can look at, for instance, what's your best IV one? Basically, the point is focus on that one. Okay. And so I'm going to guess your best IV Raikou is probably that 45 one, the 1945, I think, was what it was. It
is my max attack one. Or wait, oops. Sorry, wait a second. I'm confused.
Keep going. There you go. Oh, so this one has max attack as well. That's pretty cool. So yeah, its CP is like -4, and then I can't see the other. What's the defense bar?
4, and then 2, I think.
2?
So
okay, so
6.
Wait, is it 6?
Because 4 on HP, and then 2 on defense.
Okay, then yeah, it's a 87. So that's, again, nothing, like, when we're talking about legendaries, that's not going to be bad or anything. Obviously, we would love a 100, but we can't all get a hundo out of it. So if you were going to focus on this, Raikou, great electric type attacker. It's like, I saw you had a Zapdos. I think you just had one, and it was like
80%. We should make that good, because it's a lucky.
Oh, is it? So yeah, that does change things a little bit because it'll cost you less to power up. But the thing I like about Raikou and other people like is, again, it doesn't have that ice type weakness where Zapdos does. So if you are going up against that, like Lapras kind of was really, again, it's not a huge deal because Lapras was the only time I've found that really threw a wrench in my plans for that particularly. So I'm not saying that this is like a huge deal. Zapdos has amazing stats in the game, you know what I mean? And yeah, thank you, Lil Mewtwo. I have 100% IV Mew, dude. Thank you. You're like, that 100% IV Mew is crazy. We'll talk about Luxray in a second, Lucifer Hamilton over on YouTube. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to get through this thought so I don't go on too many tangents. Okay, so Steph, I would say actually, I like Raikou a lot is the thing, and the interesting thing about Raikou is it can also learn Shadow Ball, which was like, that was really strange, right? You know, to have a ghost move thrown in there. But Shadow Ball is such a good ghost attack. There's not a lot of cases, though, that I would particularly use that. And thank you so much to Lil Mewtwo for following. I do appreciate that. So, again, there's probably not a lot of instances that I would use that, you know, because I would just want my Raikou to have electric-type attacks only. So go ahead and click on your Zapdos and then your Raikou, and I want to compare their attacks. Like, what are their moves? Just the moves, yeah. So that one's double on the electric. Thank you so much, Axer 23. So it looks like you're double electric on both of those. Now, probably a better thing to do would be that we'll pull up kind of what the best movesets are just so I have my ducks in a row here. But in general, you know, I think you're going to be fine either one that you go with. And thank you so much for that follow to ZM Master. Dude, I really appreciate
Let's go!
Yeah, I
Hello,
really
friend.
appreciate the follows, you guys. It really does help me out. And we're here every week with Pokemon Go streams. We're also going to be playing Pokemon Sword and Shield here, day of, by the way. So anyway, we're talking about Raikou and Zapdos. We're doing like an optimization stream. This is not always what we do. Sometimes we're going to do it, though.
You know what's something crazy? I feel like this would be fun to watch, even if it was you just optimizing for like a raid hour. Like if you like an hour before you leave for raid hour, if you were to like even just do I don't even know if it's like a 30-minute stream, like commentating about your stuff. I feel like that'd be really fun.
Well, that's cool. I like that you said that because I'm open to suggestions. I do also have the little YouTube channel for that. Sometimes I'll do like a 3-minute video. That's just like, boom,
those are also amazing. But it'd be cool to see it like live, and then if people want to like oh my god, like a pre-raid party hour, pre-raid, that would be so fun. Well, I'm just saying, I think that would be cool, but that's just random.
And so I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna keep us to task here. I know that we've gone for a lot of time, and so I want to respect your time and everything. So as far as Raikou goes, Thunder Shock and Wild Charge are the ones you're gonna want. And then for Zapdos, you're going to want Thunder Shock, Thunderbolt. Now, if you wanted to go for just one of those over the other, you know, like I don't have enough TMs or I don't have enough Stardust or I only want to focus on one, that's tough because I like both of these Pokemon. If you're going by...
It's crazy to me. I feel like Zap Cannon sounds like such a cool move. It's not as good. Like, Thunderbolt is better than Zap. Like, Zap Cannon sounds epic.
Yeah, and so... it's just kind of that it consistently outperforms Zap Cannon, like, comparatively. I think that they're both, like, still going to be fine. So I'm not saying you're, like, screwed if you have Zap Cannon or something like that. It's just that I think it actually also, what's funny is that they're both one bar, right? They're both, like, a long bar charge move. But doesn't it go a little bit faster? Like, because, Stone Edge, for example, is a long bar move, but it, like, it just goes boom, like, it attacks so fast, whereas Zap Cannon, I think the animation takes longer. That's a better way to put it. It's like the animation. And so, like, if you've ever seen Stone Edge, it just goes boom, like, it just happens,
Right.
Like, it's just like, and it happens so fast that it's actually sometimes hard for people to dodge, So, like, that's sometimes what I think about is, like, okay, what's the DPS, what's the, like, TDO, all those weird things. That's sort of, like, what to look at. And so, again, I'm not saying that you're going to be, like, you're just more well off if you have Thundershock and Thunderbolt.
I'm doomed, guys.
What? Yeah. What's the problem?
Oh, no, I was just making a joke.
Oh, doomed! And so with Raikou in general, just, like, Thundershock has, like, a lower cooldown to it, and it gains energy really fast. And Wild Charge, though, is, like, super superior. And that's the thing about Raikou, is that like Wild Charge is a move that Raikou can have, but Zapdos can't, if I remember. And so, yeah, it looks like that. I can confirm that. And so, like, Wild Charge is just like an amazing move. I mean, both.
Is that's a charge you said?
Yeah, Wild Charge is a charge move for Raikou only, not Zapdos.
Let's try it.
How do you feel about Ancient Power on Zapdos? Lucifer Hamilton, that's interesting. I've never really thought about Ancient Power, really.
Yeah, let's go.
I would generally think it has kind of no particular use unless it does something in the PvP. And again, I don't know shit about PvP. So like, again, I can't advise you on that. Otherwise, I would feel, maybe some pros here in the chat can help us out there. But like, my thinking is that Ancient Power is not really going to have the use, because like Zapdos can also learn Drill Peck, which is a flying type move. But really, I would just kind of keep it at like, okay, Thunderbolt or Zap Cannon, I guess, if you wanted to.
Oh, how is Thundershock all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Thundershock would be the one you would want for the fast move on Zapdos. I guess that's also Raikou, isn't it? Let me think. Yeah, Thundershock on Raikou as well. So those are great fast moves for those Pokemon.
Perfect.
So the difference is obviously the charge attack. You don't have to use a TM on both unless you want to. It looks like you got... Sorry, I haven't fully been paying attention to what you were doing, so I don't know if you already used TMs.
I used the TM. I'm going to keep Zap Cannon for now just because... And this is so silly. I just think Zap Cannon sounds sick.
Did
So
you
I'm
see the
keeping...
chat, by the way? And by the way, hello, David95 from Europe, dude. What's up? But Lil Mewtwo got 100 IV Litwick. That's so awesome.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Litwick is
want
like,
one.
yeah, Litwick is still hard for people to hatch right now. So like,
I don't have... Wait. Oh, I don't think I put an egg. Hold up. Oh, I hate when that happens.
You need to incubate.
Which one is Litwick in?
Yeah, which one is Litwick in? I forgot. Because again, Gen 5 Pokemon, I'm still learning stuff.
I'm probably going to incubate the 2K just to...
If you want, I can just search it real fast.
Yeah.
Litwick, Pokemon Go, egg. Let's see. So it looks like it's gonna be a 10K egg. It's gonna get you.
No, I'm not gonna use
Clink,
my
Litwick. So.
Not yet.
Oh, do you only have the one incubator?
Yeah. I got no incubators
that's
right now.
Like me. I'm a poor boy, dude. But
no.
Yeah, and thank you guys for your questions, definitely. And Lucifer Hamilton was saying Thundershock is legacy on Zapdos, and that's the interesting thing, Steph, is like legacy moves it's such an interesting like analysis of Pokemon Go. But now that we have TMs, sometimes there are some that are available still, but also they've been bringing back some of the legacy moves, which is really cool too. Not a lot of them, but like just in some cases. So don't bite my head off if you find one that's not the case. I'm just saying that sometimes. So here at this point, Steph, we've kind of optimized a lot of your like top homies right here. So now what I would do is I would turn this over to you and say, do you have something that's in your box that we haven't seen yet that you find is like you really want to know about it or is really special to you? You're like, wait, what about this one? It could be a high IV that you just haven't powered up yet. And while you're thinking of that, I did want to talk about Luxray once more because we had a question earlier about Luxray. But yeah, so think of that just for a second. All
right, and chat, if you're looking at my box right now and you see something that's like good that I just have ignored, let me know, because I don't know what I have. I'm scrolling.
So generally, by the way, going back to Luxray, the same type attack thing is again what I would use with that. Spark and Wild Charge, I think, were the ones, but like people can use different movesets for different things. But again, I think having Spark is the electric fast attack that Luxray can have, and the electric charge move that it can have is Wild Charge, and so that's why pairing those two up is kind of like it's really high DPS for where electric types are concerned in Pokemon Go right now. So like Spark and Wild Charge is probably what I would set if it was me. Again, it's like if you did like I don't know, I'm trying to think of situations at these other ones. I mean, don't use Hyper Beam. That's a move it can learn, for example. Don't really do Hyper Beam if you're using it for attack. I don't know why you would use it for defense as much. It's probably more suited to be an attacker, I would think. Sorry, I'm just thinking, but we'll let Steph tell us, of course, if she has anything she wants to analyze or.
I had a question. I have a 98 Alolan Golem.
Yeah.
Is that good or not worth because I'm cool just keeping it chill here. Is that worth powering up?
Generally, like what sucks is that I actually really like Golem, just the normal one, And Alolan Golem I felt like was kind of worse, but I don't think that that's true. It was just sort of my like prejudice against it or whatever. But like, it's iffy because I would say if you have something better, use it. And you probably do have something better, you know? And that's the thing about Golem is that, like, for instance, the rock type. So let's analyze this from its typing, right? Alolan Golem is a rock and an electric type attack. Usually rock throw, you know, that's such a, like, you know, it's kind of like just these major rock attackers have rock throw, you know. I don't even think, is there another rock move? Oh, Smackdown. That was the other one. Smackdown and Rock Throw, I guess, are the moves right now that are rock. I'm trying to think if there was another fast move. Point being that you're probably not going to have Smackdown, because that's a Community Day move, until they add something like that. And so, for me, like, generally, you're probably using these as, I guess, an attacker. And so, Rock Throw is usually superior, and then Stone Edge, again, was, like, a good move because of it going so fast and everything like that, but in particular, I think regular, first of all, Kanto Golem I think is going to perform better in general, so everything's kind of pointing me to no. It's awesome that it's a 98 and everything, but like if your Stardust is really valuable to you, then...
Oh, I do have a Weavile. Oh boy, I think I might have just evolved this to get the... Oh god, I don't know if this is any good. Oh, it's okay. Looks like that's 6.
We should look at your Weavile, because Weavile is, like, interesting, too. It has a lot of uses to it. So,
it is max attack. I think that's why I evolved it. I was trying for so long to get a good Sneasel, and it was not happening.
But, as far as Golem goes, I know that, like, I'm looking at I have a 100% Kanto Golem that's fully charged, and I gave it an extra move. And so, like, right now, my Kanto Golem has Rock Throw, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. I would actually, to, like, fully optimize that, I think I would actually teach it Rock Blast as a charge move that's better. So, like, that's one way I could improve this. But, again, like, for your rock types, Rampardos, Rhyperior, maybe even, like, Tyranitar in some cases, you know, Regirock, they're all going to perform better, I believe, than Golem. So, again, Steph, for her question about her Alolan Golem, I'd say... It's a cool Pokemon. It's just probably not worth using your dust on and everything.
Keep it chill? Alright.
Probably chill on that one. And so that's my personal opinion. That's one where it can get iffy, I guess. But Weavile. So you've got Ice Shard, and then what's its charge move?
Foul Play.
Foul Play. So here's the thing, is Weavile can be a Dark or an Ice Pokemon. Like, you're stuck in between both of those attacks. So I'd say definitely change one of them. So, which one? In general, it's kind of like, what do you need? That's what I would ask people. So, Steph, I would say, do you need Ice more, or do you need Dark more? I find Dark to recently be super relevant, because we've had Mewtwo, we've had this Giratina raid. So, I don't know, Dark has been recently relevant. And the thing is, Tyranitar is like, I have so many Tyranitars that if it was my opinion, I might need more Ice. You know, that's just me though. So I'm not saying you should go based off of that. So go based off of what do you need and what do you feel you need. You could even type in if you wanted Ice and then type in Dark and see see what their comparison is.
Okay. I feel like I do have Ice options. Oh yeah, 91 Swinub. I forgot about that.
That'll be nice. See if you can
I
make that a
I should put that up. I should get that up there, actually.
Yeah, if you can make
There's
that
no
a
reason
Mamo,
I should
it'll be
not
awesome.
evolve this.
See, this is why it's good that we just kind of look at all the types.
And you know what?
That you have.
This would actually be better also because the reason I feel like the reason I don't want to get rid of the ancient power on the Mamo is just because it's the community, you know, like just because I'm like, but I can never get it back.
Yeah.
So like, it would be nice if I evolved this and then do what you suggested on this Mamo, the one that's the 91.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's something to think about for the future. I'm going to say, like, Weavile, so it would have to have Feint Attack and Foul Play to be a Dark Weavile, and then it would have to have, I guess it was Ice Shard, I think was the, right, and Avalanche. Yeah, I think those are the moves. And so, for that Weavile that we were looking at, I mean, you should just see if you have any higher IV Sneasels, or just what is the highest one you have, you know, of Sneasel and Weavile and all that, because that would be my first area to look at. And again, there are better Pokemon than this one, so this is just if you want some backup because your team isn't full of Mamoswines or Tyranitars. So
this one's alright. Then my Sneasel I'm not loving. They're not like great.
Yeah, let's see. So what was the Weavile again? Did you appraise that one? Was it better?
Question. Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Okay.
But not by like crazy.
Yeah. That also makes me like a little anxious, like nervous to, you know, spend anything on it if it's not. So what is it? That's -4 at the bottom, and then what's that?
It's 6, yeah, -6.
Okay, so that's an 87. So in general, I would say, oh man, Lil Mewtwo has 100 IV Sneasel. Oh, dude, you got a heat. Man, you got a heat stroke from playing Pokemon Go. That's not good. Yeah, everybody's got to be careful. That sucks, man. So let's see. So if I had to make the decision for me, obviously I had to examine what I need more of. I think it is a better ice than it is a dark one, but they're so close. So do you have any opinions on your box? Like, did you check your dark types? And
yeah, I do have the Tyranitar. I forgot about those. I do have the Tyranitars.
Yeah, maybe just search ice and dark again, and we'll see. See, even Jinx is like an okay ice attacker too. I stress okay, so nobody come attack me.
This sucks though.
Oh,
my
man.
Jinxes suck.
By the way, unless you're saving those for some reason, you can kill those. Or you can kill at least the bottom one.
I'll kill this one. I need to. Goodbye.
I'm a meat grinder, man. I have no fucking remorse.
Oh, is Oh my god, but 98 Lapras. Let's go.
I feel like they screwed Lapras over in Pokemon Go. Like, they didn't make it as good as I feel like they should have. It's not worthless, but it's not, like, great or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe I'll decide. I have the knowledge with Weavile, so I'm gonna wait and then see if an event, you know, if I see like a bunch that I'm gonna need.
So obviously the thing that's relevant right now is that we do have dark type, like, advantages on the raid bosses. You know, Mewtwo is coming back to X raids. We have the Reggie. I mean, we have the
which
Giratina.
raid is today?
It's the Giratina altered form. By the way, Origin form much better. So, altered form, okay, you know, it's fine to like get some, but you want.
You think
Origin.
next week we'll get Origin, or is it altered?
I think it's gonna be here. I think they said in the news it's gonna be here for 2 more weeks. So, like altered form, I have to look at the news actually. It has an end date.
I only have 1 Origin form.
Yeah, I only have 1 good Origin form, so that's why I'm saying, you know, man. Okay, so it will be here until October 17th. That's altered form, which is actually like almost 3 weeks. It's like 2.5. So Thursday of 2.5 weeks. So that's when it's going to leave, and I don't know what's coming up after that, but remember that Mewtwo is, like, soon. It's going to be in X-Raids, like, as of, like, basically now. So that's a thing where Dark can help you as well. There are better Dark types, obviously, but there are better Ice types. So right now, Dark is on point, but there's going to be a point, I'm sure, that you need Ice.
Right.
By then, you might have better with those Mamoswines, because your Mamo game is pretty good, Steph. Like, and you have that 91 sitting there, you know, in your back pocket that you can evolve.
I should just evolve that now.
If you, it depends, because your Sinnoh stones, you know, are precious cargo.
Oh, so okay. I'll get it to a Pylo.
Yeah, like definitely do Piloswine for sure. I mean, you may catch a better one, though. That's the only disadvantage to doing this.
Oh, I have 600
But if you have a ton of candies, it doesn't matter, yeah. That's always my thing. So. David95 says, are you using Gacha or something? So I actually use a Pokemon Go Plus. A lot of people recommend the Gacha, though, in comparison. I've never used a Gacha, but I use a Pokemon Go Plus. Right now, I'm not using anything because I'm just sitting here in my house. Like, we had an incense on earlier, but I don't have anything going on my screen anymore. Let me see. Oops, wrong one. There we go. I'll take my screen away.
I should actually look at my Pylos. I bet I have a few good ones, actually.
So I think the point is we can kind of like wrap this up in the last 10 minutes of the stream, we'll say, is, definitely take any more questions from Steph or the chat now. Like, we'll definitely open
Who's
up
got
the
questions
chat
about Pogo?
For questions about this sort of thing. We'll also just sort of mention that, like, here's some things you want to think about, Steph, is so, like, I always tell people, what are, like, the really meta-relevant types, right? Like, do we want to know that information? And again, it's going to vary by what the event is that's going on. But, like, currently, based off of what people put in gyms a lot of the time, obviously fighting, right? Because, like, Blissey's everywhere, and, like, Snorlax, and all these things that are weak to fighting. So you want your Machamp, you want Breloom is the next one down, Hariyama's okay. Really, you just want Machamp. So, like, Machamp is at this point also not too rare for a lot of people to have at least 2, 3 multiple Machamps. So, definitely, Steph, if you have some good Machamps like that 96, I'd power his ass up all the way.
I have no candy.
Okay, well, that might be a place for your rare candies.
Are his moves good?
Yeah. And for me, it's like he can learn 2 different charge fighting moves. That's fine, like do either one. But what I love is that I have a 100% Machamp that I gave the 2 fighting moves, right? So it has counter and like dynamic punch. But then I also gave it a rock move, so it has 3 moves. So Machamp having a rock attack, because it can learn Rock Slide now, which is insane as like another charge move. It's fucking awesome, because like it can go up against a Dragonite, which it usually was not good against, but now it can use Rock against it. So like that just makes you not have to change out your Pokemon as much, which a lot of people are discouraged from doing. They don't want to change out, right? So that's a thing to note,
That's epic.
The Hokage, our Hokage friend recently got one from Team Rocket. So anyway.
Nice. He's almost powered up, this 96 boy. He could go a little bit more.
And so, Steph, if you've never heard this speech from me, a good thing after somebody, like if you see a gym on your team, somebody's put a Blissey in that gym, who would you think to put in next? Well, I'm going to give you the answer that I would say. So if you have actually, and I'd say power this up before you just put in a little poopy one, but a lot of people were putting in Gardevoir before Togekiss came into the game. So Togekiss is a great fairy-type defender to put in right after Blissey.
Ooh.
It's more just right after somebody would be using a Machamp. So the same could apply for Snorlax. The same could apply for, one of those things that somebody's like, oh, they're going to use a Machamp or they're going to use a fighting type. So like Togekiss became a better defender than Gardevoir once it was added into the game. By the way, Gardevoir not too bad on your fairy type attackers, but fairy types, they don't always have the relevance. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Anyway. So yeah, Steph, if you ever want that tip or tidbit or whatever, Lucifer Hamilton's like, OMG, you right. Thanks, dude. Somebody supporting me. But anyway, yeah, so, Togekiss, that's the interesting thing. And I'm not saying that Togekiss is a great Pokemon generally, but like as a fairy defender, that's just a good thing because it kind of goes against a lot of those. And if it can have like psychic moves or fairy moves, that's awesome because, Togekiss can also learn, I think, Charge Beam. You don't want it with that because, like, Electric's
it's got hidden power.
Yeah, Electric's not going to do, or Bug is not going to do anything to that Machamp, really. It's not going to hurt it as bad. So
I would change these moves.
Yeah, I'd probably TM, honestly, both of those because I don't really care about Ancient Power either, but some people might argue that. But I think, again, because I don't
Air
use...
Slash.
Oh, God, this might take a while. At least you got a lot of TMs, but...
Charm.
So there you go, Charm. That's perfect. And so if it could learn, like Dazzling Gleam
and Ancient Power is not like a special... It's not like a legacy or anything, right? It's just...
Right, Ancient Power, you could change that if you wanted to. And Ancient Power is one, actually, that wasn't here from the Legacy days, That wasn't a move that existed back then in Pokemon Go. Thank you so much for that chocolate, whatever. I guess somebody just followed, or did they do a sound effect?
There we go.
Anyway, I think somebody subscribed over on YouTube. I guess I don't have my alerts up.
Let's go!
So thank you so much for that. I do apologize. Oh, damn. God tier Togekiss 2840 is your lucky 100% Togekiss. That's fucking awesome, Lucifer Hamilton. And thank you to Rafael Romero for following us over on Twitch. I do really appreciate it. So, Steph.
Oh my god, a Ralts. Wait,
hey, there's a Ralts just hanging out right there. Hey, maybe it's got good IVs. I say, do you know if you have candies? Because I'd say give it a pineapple. Yeah, if you don't have that many, you probably have candies though. If you did the community day, you're probably rife with Ralts candies.
Oh yeah, well,
but whatever.
I evolved a lot though.
Yeah, you could get some more. It's worth it.
Let's find out how many I had.
So.
Oh, I needed the event, the Cat 50 Steel.
In general, some other things that you guys might use. This is just for the chat. Steph, you can keep doing what you're doing, but we'll talk just really, really fast is what to look out for. Actually, Steph, this will help you. Zekrom, potential raid boss that's coming. We don't know if it is. It's not been confirmed, but Zekrom is something to look for Generation 5 legendaries. And Zekrom is interesting just because, isn't it Dragon and Electric, I think is its type?
Yeah.
So that's sort of a weird combo. So you're just going to want, dragons, fairies, ground, ice to go up against that. Your counters could be like Rayquaza, Salamence, I guess in some cases, like the lower ones would be like Dragonite, Dialga might have like a purpose in this because Dialga's typing Dragon Steel. Of course, going up against a dragon versus a dragon, though, you have to watch that. So I've only mentioned to you the dragon counters. So obviously, you do have to think about that. Like, hey, I'm sending in a Rayquaza, but, Rayquaza's best dragon type attacker. But, if Zekrom has the dragon moves, then they're going to be super effective against it. So that's the only thing to watch out for. So just take note for that. Giratina Origin Form is the raid thing happening very soon. For Eastern time people, at least, they will be able to raid it very soon for the raid hour. I'm actually going to get to go out, I think. I'm going to go try to do like 3 of them, I think. I think I have enough passes. But so yeah, Giratina Altered Form. I guess you guys probably know what to use against it at this point, but yeah. So, Steph, what am I missing? Am I missing anything?
I feel very informed.
Good.
I think that was solid. That was some awesome stuff. Thanks for
We should say one last thing, Steph, is if you were going to go after Mewtwo again, say an X-Raid or whatever, or just want to optimize your Ghost game, so Origin Form, 100%. Get Origin Form, any of them that are like 91 and above, just like power the hell out of those. You're going to have to use some candies probably, unless you are doing... Because the good thing is, Altered Giratina is the same candy, right? So, like, you can still be catching these Altered Giratinas and get the candy for your Origin Form. Focus on your Origin. And then Gengar, again, I mentioned this at the start, but Gengar is a glass cannon. It has its purpose, though. I see a lot of people using them in raids, even. And, like, the interesting thing is when we say glass cannon, for anyone that doesn't know those terms or whatever, most people do, but I'm just going to say it, is... Glass cannon just means, like, okay, it gets out a lot of damage really fast, like, boom, 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 it's a cannon, but it also can, like, get hit, like, in one hit and just, like, die. Like, it has, like, it's kind of squishy. Have you ever heard of squishy in video games,
Yeah.
Like, maybe it doesn't have a lot of HP in defense or either or, so, like, Gengar kind of falls into that category. Same with, Gardevoir in Pokemon Go. So that's the one thing I always say to watch out with Gengar is like it has its use, it can get out a lot of damage. That DPS, man, just boom, 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 but it can also like just get hit with a huge charge move and be dead. So interesting. But yeah, Steph, if you wanted to optimize, your Mewtwo counters, get that Giratina Origin Form for sure,
I appreciate that.
Make sure it has ghost moves only. But
yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably where we'll end, unless you see, I don't see anything in the chat except Uberblitz was like, Zekrom's the black one, right? Reshiram the white one?
Correct.
Hell yeah, man. Now, Gen 5 is a game that I will say I did not play. That's the only
I love Gen 5.
It's the only mainstay core RPGs that I did not play in the series, was Black and White. And
it's time to play.
Yeah, I still have yet to do it, so Steph will have to teach me the ways. But please... Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I'm going to say is follow Steph of Anime on Twitch. That would be exactly as we said. You saw her name in the chat, but it's just twitch.tv/Steph of Anime, all one word. There she is. Give her a follow. She's also on YouTube, so if you want to follow there, same deal. Just search Steph of Anime on YouTube.
Aw, thanks, friend.
And, we've been friends for a long time, so this was fun, Steph, and... maybe you just stick around for like a minute or two after I end the stream.
Oh, of course.
So when I say bye, I'm just saying bye to the chat. Like, bye.
Nah, guys, I'm ditching Dr. K. As soon as the stream's gone, I'm out of here.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks for hanging.